Hi, my name is Monique Mullenkamp, Publicity Director at New World Library. I recently had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Simple Living blogger and tiny house enthusiast Tammy Strobel. We talked about her new book, You Can Buy Happiness, and it's cheap. I hope you'll enjoy the interview. Can you tell us why you and your husband Logan started downsizing, or as you say, smart-sizing your life? How did you start and what did you learn?
Okay, well, we started downsizing soon after we got married in 2003. It was about 2005 when we actually began the process of shedding stuff, paying off debt, and just trying to figure out what would make us happy. And I left the investment management world, and soon after that, Logan suggested that we pare down our living space. And I was like, no way, I don't want anything to do with this idea. I want to keep my stuff and kind of the same lifestyle. But after we had a lot of conversations about this idea of simplifying, I obviously, got on board with the simplifying train. And I really learned that it's very important to communicate with your partner. I mean, if you want to downsize your life and move into a smaller living space, you kind of have to talk it through and discuss any issues that might creep up. And so we started out in a 1,200 square foot apartment that was exploding with stuff, and now we live in a very tiny 128 square foot house on wheels, and it looks like a tiny cabin and it's very cute. But that's kind of the extreme side of things, and not everyone's gonna wanna live in a tiny house, and that's okay. But I would just say, if you're thinking of simplifying, to really communicate with your partner and kind of make a pro-con list and start moving forward. You don't have to sell everything at once, just start with small micro actions.
What are the top 3 things you can recommend to those wanting to move toward a more simple lifestyle?
Well, if you're just starting out, first I would suggest focusing on one area of your home. For example, maybe your closet. It might be exploding with clothes, and you could give away 10 to 20 things in your closet that you don't wear regularly. Or maybe you have a shelf filled with tchotchkes that collect dust. Maybe just, take an afternoon, inventory what you have, and let go of 10 things you don't need anymore. You can give that to Goodwill or to friends or family members. And as I was getting rid of my stuff slowly over time, I found that taking those slow steps was less overwhelming. Second, I would say start tracking your time. Whenever I get really overwhelmed in my professional life, I'll print out my Google Calendar and I'll track my time for a week or maybe 2. And usually by doing that, I can identify time sucks. Like, for example, watching too much TV, spending too much time on Facebook. And instead of engaging in those activities, I replace them with things I love to do, like reading, going on walks with Logan. And so the third thing I would suggest is just getting outside and moving your body. Exercise is a great way to reduce stress. It'll make you happier. And when I'm outside walking, I think about the things I'm really grateful for and trying to just be really present in the moment right now.
For someone who has gone through their items, donated, given them away, what would be a good next step for someone who wants to go further?
Well, I would encourage people to try maybe going car light or even going car free. And going car free might not be a viable option for everyone. For example, it's more challenging in rural areas to live without a car. But if you live in a big city like San Francisco or Portland, maybe try leaving your car at home for a week and not using it at all. Bike to the grocery store, take the bus or the Max that's in Portland, for example. So kind of inventory what public transit options are in your city and go from there.
Thank you, Tammy. We look forward to incorporating these tips.
Thank you.